was glaring at one entry from the expert level with clear disapproval. A gorgeous ice castle with waterfalls. If he didn't like that entry, he was going to annihilate ours. But did it bother me enough to enter a contest and make complete fools of ourselves, Stiles? No. I was good taking the classes and learning slowly. It was you and your crazy adrenaline, high over the compliment Darian gave you about how great your ice apple was, that led us to... I spread my arms wide over our ever-burgeoning table. This. Darian Markham was our teacher for the class. Stiles snickered. I did a really good leaf that night, Hal, he protested. Even you said it was good. Besides, you gotta admit, Darian's pretty cute. I pictured Darian in my head, his handsome, pearly white smile and dark eyes flirtatiously eyeballing my BFF. Sure, he was very cute, but maybe not cute enough for us to have entered an ice sculpting contest after only 5 classes just to prove we're not chickens. All I'll admit is you were preening and showboating, and that led us to this bit of overambition, Stiles. We're going to be complete laughingstocks, which, hey, what's a little finger-pointing among friends? He looked at our entry in the ice sculpting contest and shrugged before crossing his arms over his chest. I disagree. I think Chewbacca shows real promise as one of the 3 kings. I looked at our sad attempt to carve ice and snorted a sharp laugh that made people turn and look at us, most especially Yule Wolfram and Blanche Ritter, another champion judge. Listen, when I agreed to do this, and you said you wanted to do a Star Wars nativity theme, and I knew there was no talking you out of your impossible dream, I went along with it thinking, what's the worst that can happen? Pointing at the table, I said with a grimace, I think this is the worst that can happen, Stiles. Oh, come on, kitten. It's not that bad, he said, brushing away a bit of ice dust from another of the 3 kings, and I use that term loosely, as played by Darth Vader. Stiles, it's that bad. Yoda looks like a melting cinnamon bun with ears, and Luke as Joseph? I pointed to the place where his eyes should be, but instead resided 2 gaping holes. Does this look like Joseph to you, Fitzy? Since when did Joseph have 2 uneven, hollowed-out holes for eyes? How do you know he didn't? Have you ever met him? He countered. How would he have been able to find his way to the inn to learn they had no room for Mary to give birth if he had 2 hollowed-out sockets for eyeballs? Whatever. He brushed his finger along the top of what was supposed to be Luke's lightsaber. But you have to admit, this came out pretty good. I popped my lips and frowned. In the spirit of BFFs and honesty, I shook my head. He'd tell me if a pair of jeans made my butt look big. I was about to tell him that his death slab of pointy ice didn't look anything like a lightsaber. No, it didn't. It looks like an ice pick. That thing's so sharp it could stab someone clear through, Stiles. He gave me a sheepish look. Maybe I went a little too far with the chiseling, but it does look like a weapon. Mostly, anyway, and when we add the lights it'll be kinda cool. I grabbed him by the arm and forced him to stand back next to me. No, it'll look like a big pointy stick with lights, not a lightsaber. Stiles, look at this. Really look. It looks like a bunch of ice someone hacked up with a butter knife. How does that blob even remotely resemble Darth Vader? I waited for an answer, and when he didn't respond, I said, Know what? It doesn't, and you know it. He sighed the sigh that meant he was coming to terms with the truth of our very sad matter. But Mary's Princess Leia buns are good, right? Rocking back on the heels of my insulated boots, I shook my head again. Yeah, no, they're not good, Stiles. They look like crooked, oversized warts. Talk about doom and gloom.